Sofia, and this is my partner Antonio. We're going to talk about or explain the energetic reform.
Well, we would like to start off taking us back to 1938 when Lázaro Cárdenas was our president. What he did, he made this reform where he expropriated the petroleum from foreign countries like the United States, Germany, because what they were doing, they were in our country now respecting our laws, they were now respecting our natives, they evicted our natives from their lands, and Lázaro Cárdenas didn't tolerate this.
Almost 80 years later, the government of Mexico wants to do the same as it was before Lázaro Cárdenas' expropriation of the petroleum. That means it wants to privatize the gas, the fuel, and the electric industries. The importance of the petroleum in our economy is that imagine we have a peso. 40% comes from the petroleum. So if we privatize these industries, we're allowing to give United States or any other country who buys it the 40% of our national budget.
The government says by privatizing Pemex, we will gain, our economy will rise. They say this because Pemex is in crisis, but statistics say Pemex is the second most important oil producing company with the second most profits. It's the third in production, the 11th in raw oil reserves, the 13th in gas production and fuel refinement, and the second most important exporter of fuels in the United States. Pemex profits are approximately $100 billion. And of these 100 billion, 20,000 go for the company, and approximately 800,000 billion, go to the government for the national budget. Well, this also has affected our minimum salary. Imagine in 1981 you win equivalent to $10. Well, our minimum salary has been reduced in 75% in the year in 25 years because of our bad political system we have in Mexico. So nowadays, in 2006, instead of winning $10, you win $2.5.
This is not all the point of view about the energetic reform. We have a lot of different points of view. Now our partner, Asael, will explain you why he is
in favor of this reform, which we are not in favor.
Yeah, well, I just got out of a conference in which has mentioned finally one good thing about energy reform. And that great news is that the private companies finally will be able to sell here in Mexico service like fuel or electric energy. I have already done my report and says like that in these reforms, our president opinion it hopes of launching the economy, which has seen long periods of stagnation in recent decades. The first private gas station in 78 years will open its doors finally in Mexico, and that means the end of an era under the monopoly of the government oil company Pemex on this sector. In 4 years, Pemex plans to award 50% of the franchise gas station currently owned as envisaged by the law of hydrocarbons of the energy reform. And in 2018, it's expected that fuel price will release, which could trigger a real war between private oil and the oil that we already have in Mexico, like Pemex. And they also come electric companies, like I say. These companies like Mexichem, Enel Green Power, Acciona, Intergen, Generamex Group Mexico, Mineral Outland, and so many others. This is because electricity market in Mexico has a value of 311 billion pesos. For that, 58% of which are destined for the industrial sector, the 25% to the domestic, and the rest is divided between agricultural and commercial. The purpose of all of this is to become Serbs as accessible as in the first world countries.